Welcome to episode 30 of Webway Radio. I'm Kurt.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Steven.
And today we are going to talk about what to do when the dice betray you.
Yes.
We all have dealt with it at some point.
And not even in 40K. Dungeons and Dragons, all dice games. At the end of the day, if you're listening, you're probably a tabletop gamer of some sort, I would like to think.
From everything from 40K to Monopoly.
Yes! We're going to talk about what to do when the dice betray you. Ladies and gentlemen, I played a game of Warhammer 40,000, so you get a little bit of that coming.
Oh my god.
I
You
know,
actually got models on the table.
It's only been 6-7 months. It's fine. Yeah, I bought some things. I painted some things. It's getting crazy in the Dilly house, y'all. Anything else before we jump in? As soon as I say that, I'm like, oh, I forgot to say things. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe us if you can. A comment on YouTube or Spotify goes a really long way. So we appreciate all of that.
We really appreciate it, yeah.
If you have thoughts on dice betraying you or anything like that, or a fun story about how bad dice went or how great dice went, leave it on the YouTube comments.
Yeah, please comment.
We'll jump in and
we
say
love
things.
to hear stories.
Yes.
Stories are amazing.
Check out the Lonely Necron on YouTube if you can. And yeah, so with all that being said, let's take a quick break and we will jump right into hobby progress and games played.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Let's talk hobby progress. Austin, what have you been working on?
I haven't been working on much until the last couple hours. Right before I came here to record, I built a Terminator Captain and a Terminator Ancient out of my big Terminatus Assault box.
Oh, that's right. The one you got like
months
November?
ago.
Yeah.
Probably around Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been my hobby progress. Not much, but I have made
something. It's something, you know. What about you, Steven?
I painted up some guardsmen. It's mostly the special weapon guys. But so basically the people I don't really use that much, like the flamer and grenade launcher dudes.
Right.
For Cadians.
Nice.
There's this, I just never use them. They just kind of got ignored. So I was like, you know what? They're easy to paint.
Sure. Hey, you're ready for 11th, right?
Oh yeah, no, I have everything ready for 11th, as long as they don't do some crazy stuff with the point values.
Yeah, that's a concern, a very real concern. But we'll see. All new edition, we'll get there. For me personally, I've actually been painting more Drakari bases. I know. But this time I actually put 2 10-man units of witches on the new bases.
I saw some over on your hobby desk over there.
Yep. And I'm actually painting a 3rd unit of witches. They were kind of half painted. So now it's just, I did the pink because it's super easy to do, nothing else. So now I'm going back and doing the teal and the skin colors and that sort of thing.
Got to do in batches.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, there's so little teal and colors on there. It's like, all right, do the silvers, do the metal, do the whatever. And it's like, oh, look, we're done.
Painting that
and they're
many
so
guardsmen.
tiny. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I can't imagine painting Eldar.
Yeah.
Guardsmen, at least the old guardsmen models were chunky.
Big old chunky heads on them.
They're so tiny.
And I cannot imagine trying to paint the details or even trying to get to the details on like those spindly little
Quick and easy, man. Quick and dirty. I like it.
Yeah.
And actually last night, I saw a post in Nashhammer, and a lot of people will put a message and be like, DM'd. I don't want that post bumped. And I don't want other people to know I'm making offers on things.
Right.
But I picked up another Custodes battle group box and the Liber Custodes for $150.
Ooh.
Did you take them to dinner first?
No. I gave him an extra $10, but it was like, here, man, thanks. He met me at the Avenue in Murfreesboro. Me and Jordan were at Bar Louie, like having drinks and apps. And I was like, oh, there's some random guy holding Custodes box. I think he's for me. And just ran out of the restaurant.
Nice.
So, and I was like, chances are you're looking for a, username. He's like, yep. I was like, right here. Here's your cash. And it's still sealed. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh man. And that also kind of reminds me, like I've seen a lot of the speculation videos. And a lot of people are saying like Custodes are going to be like really strong.
Mm-hmm. So twofold because
Yeah.
it's Heresy and 40K.
Oh yeah, they're like double.
Both of my
duty models.
boxes are still sealed, and they're going for like $300 on eBay. I got the one for like $31 in store credit, or with store credit, it was like $31 shipped.
Right.
And this one for $150 is like, if I saw both those boxes for $300, but I've got the codex now too. So it's like, what do I do? So we're just going to wait and see what happens. But I now have 2 of those boxes. So fun
And
stuff.
most people don't even have one.
Yeah, right. So
Kurtz is rolling in it right now.
I got rid of so much stuff.
He's using up all of his luck for 11th.
Well, we're going to talk about that today with today's topic. But what about games played, Austin? I know you've got a game listed. How'd that go?
Yes. It was me and my Necrons, specifically the Destroyer detachment, against Mark and his Imperial Fists.
Sure. Former co-host Mark.
Mark.
Yes, the Mark everyone knows and loves.
Yes. Had a game against him. We did a weird, like, halfway edition between 10th and 11th, just using what rules we knew. And
I think that
it was
sums it
very
up.
janky, but we had a lot of fun, I think.
That was a long pregame talk.
Yeah.
It's like, what if it does this? And how would that work with my army rule? I was like, ooh, that's a good question.
Right.
We don't know. Did you play anything, Steven?
I did not.
Nope, no dice rolling.
I did not get the chance to get any dice on the table or in the tray or models on the table. Yeah, models on the table. Yeah.
We knew where you were going with that.
Right.
In some crazy bit of luck, I actually played Warhammer 40,000.
Insane.
I looked. I haven't used New Recruit since November prior to making an army list. And it was like, oh man. But it felt so good to just do it again,
Right.
And maybe it's the 11th hype. Maybe it was playing a game, but man, I've got the bug. It's all I'm thinking about. I'm back to like, going over rules in my head, like, how about that interaction? And like at a red light, like, and trying, it's so bad.
Oh, don't worry. I've had the same bug going through me right now.
Yeah. But I played with Geoff, and he wanted to try out his Chaos Space Marine list with his 2 Defilers. Third one is being commissioned, built, and painted.
Horrifying.
Y'all, that was bad.
They're really good right now.
They can crawl over whatever they want and just go through terrain as long as they don't end in it. So first turn, we were on the circle deployment.
Oh,
he was able to just get to the middle, and his base is like 1 centimeter shy of just covering up the entire base rings that we have and use. Yeah. I was like,
dear Lord.
I have to charge you to even like try to contest this.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was reading today, it basically has the shooting of this thing. This gun is the entire profile of like the Venom Crawler. Oh, and it's got like the 4 or 6 las cannons too. And it's just so for its cost of 250 points, it's like 3 units that do the same work in one rolled up thing, can Dark Pact and do all rerolls to wound and get sustained and lethal. Do you know what it's like to get shot with 4 or 6 las cannons with sustained and him hit like 4 6s? Because that Venom does.
Oh my Lord,
it
that
was
is
so
horrible.
bad.
I thought his shooting was bad.
It was like 28 shots in Overwatch, and he just picked it all up. I was like, oh
That's
my gosh.
less shots. That's actually less points than my Rogel Dorn.
Yeah. And so it needs a tweak, but I think Games Workshop were like, there's a month left. Like, just let it roll. That thing was scary. I popped the first one, killed the second one. It was a bananas game, but my dice were like historically bad. Like didn't hit anything in my whole first shooting phase. It was like, it's like, we're gonna empower this unit, and like, they all missed, but I get to re-roll it. Oh, they rolled all ones again. Like, how is it this bad? So
Speaking of dice rolls, in my own game against Mark, those dice rolls were insane.
good or bad?
Both ways. It's
all ones or it's all 6s, and there's no in between.
It really was. I think it was Mark needed 3 5-ups to save all the damage, and he rolls exactly 3 5s.
Yeah.
I was like, I needed to just not roll 3 1s. I roll exactly 3 1s. It was wild.
Yeah. Oh, this was the best part. Vashdor was just hanging out with like a couple of wounds left. I shot all my heavy stuff at him, and he just saved it all. Got him down to 1 wound. A splinter rifle is what killed him. Like, of all the things, it's like, I'm only hitting on 6s. I'm only wounded on 6s. Like, it got through. Like, just don't roll a 1. He rolled a 1. It's like, How is this? Like, what?
That is such a weird mirror, too, to what happened to my Nightbringer against Mark. He just shot everything at Nightbringer, and it just little chip, and everything was done.
Yeah.
One wound left. He's like, well, I've got this squad of intercessors. Throw everything at it. They're wounding on 6s.
It happens.
Exactly 1-6. It's like, okay, I just need to not roll a
Don't roll
2.
ones. Yeah.
A 1 or a 2. Rolls it. One wound gets through.
Yep. But that's the memorable stuff, and that's kind of the topic tonight, actually.
Speaking of.
Yeah, so let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk about our topic tonight, When the Dice Betray You. Let's get into our main topic, When the Dice Betray You. Inspired by Geoff and I's game, but seems to be a consistent thing with me and Mark. Our dice are just terrible. No matter how what we play, Warcry, Necromunda, doesn't matter. My dice are bad. It's fine.
I think everyone's dice here have betrayed them at least once.
I mean, if you played any dice games, your dice will betray you. Doesn't matter if you play D&D,
Yes.
Warhammer, or anything. If it involves dice, your dice will betray you.
The infamous crit fail on a 1.
Yep. So we've all seen it. I know with my game with Geoff, I was like, I'm going to roll my Baron of Dice Drakari dice. And like, normally those dice are pretty good. These dice are bad. I've contemplated throwing this set away because it just, my first shooting phase, like one thing hit and then didn't wound. I was like, ooh, okay. And I switched to my little white GW dice because at least those are consistently like, I could roll 3s. I can't roll anything above that. So what do you do when your dice go cold? Do you swap dice? Do you just brush it off? Do you continue enduring? What's your strategies?
Cry.
Well, for me,
Yes.
so for me, if I have a dice or die that is being particularly naughty, typically to cycle it out, put it on the bottom of the bin. It's one of the reasons why I designed my personal dice tray the way I did, because I can put it into dungeon effectively.
Yes.
And then once I put it in the dungeon, I have other dice, and it will take its time. It'll probably work its way back up because other dice will join it into dungeon, and it will cycle through.
We had a dice jail when we played D&D out here quite a bit, and it was like anybody who died, you just put it in the shoebox.
And that's how I do it. Is I just cycle through it, or I just switch out dice. Then again, I don't really have as much the bad dice luck because in my games with Austin and stuff like that, I'm like, I need a 5, get a 5.
I've sworn before that his dice are like, he paid someone to load his dice.
Slowly,
He paid the Baron to load his dice. I swear.
Those were the Chessex dice that I was using against you. Then I recently got those Baron dice.
I remember that so well back in, I think it was back at Jay's house when me and you had that game where I just could not leave my deployment zone.
Oh, yes. I heard about this.
It was like I had like 3 anti-tank units, and I'm like, all right, las cannons. All right, we're wounding. You got to make a 6-up save. He makes like both 6-up saves. It's like,
I was looking at the Chimera,
guess
too.
we're throwing this other anti-tank gun. Save on a 6. Saves on another 6.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. That was against a Chimera. Those Chimeras did not want to die.
They did not.
So mid-game, your dice are cold. In my case with Geoff, you're down 35 points at the top of the 3rd round. What's a strategy you might employ or something you do? How do you handle that?
Usually, if my dice start rolling cold, I will usually set aside like specific ones out of the set that are like doing like rolling ones and just put them over here. And like if I'm rolling for the wounds, I'm like, all right, I'm not choosing any of the ones that rolled 1 or 2.
I need leadership. Come on, baby.
Exactly. Or I found it's also a weird thing, at least for me personally, where if I have a themed dice set for that army, it will never roll well. But But if I choose another theme set for a different army I own and roll those, they roll just fine.
That's why I've got I bought the Baron of Dice random pack, 225 packs, and it's just random, and it's just they're good. I like that. I can roll those.
But yeah, I noticed like I've had some dice that when I'm rolling for my Space Marines, I've got my Space Marine dice specifically for the one I chose, my Warhounds. And they'll roll terribly. I'll pick up my Salamander's dice, roll them, and they're rolling
fine.
like sixes. They're rolling hot.
I remember when you were rolling, especially when you had your GW dice, and you were like, I'm hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s, and you rolled 6 2s.
8. I
twos.
rolled 8 2s.
And I was just like, oh, yeah, you're not hitting. You can't even re-roll those.
Remember when I said what the strategy is? It's just cry. It's that right there.
Well,
That's all you can do.
When I put my dice into the dice dungeon, I put them at make sure that they're facing 6 up or 6 on the top.
Oh yeah.
So I know.
Inspire them.
Yeah, basically, this is the face you should have up.
This is what you're supposed to
This is what
do.
you're supposed to roll.
I got you.
I know. Officially, though, those old GW blue dice they're permabanned. They are now specifically wound markers and like
Blue dice.
The little blue and white dice I had, the little mini dice.
I don't know of those. It's fine.
It was literally the first set of dice I ever picked up. It was the GW pack.
Oh,
It had the little skull for the ones.
Okay. Yep.
And I still think he brought up a good point when I last used him was I think the one side is it's carved too deep because it's a big skull instead of a little one dot.
Yeah.
It's too light, so it keeps ending up on the one.
I mean, a little salt water in a cup. You can math that out yourself, sir. I know for me, if it's not going well, I've got it listed here. It's kind of like similar to iRacing. It's kind of a recovery game. Just get back on the track and try to do the best you can. But in this case, it's score the points you can, get the secondaries, just get the rep in.
Right.
Do a couple of laps and don't crash. In this particular case, for me.
I mean, and for me, if it came down to it, it's just like that. If like, I can't win in the mid board, I'm not going to do well in primary. Let me try to do secondary. Let me focus on that. Yep. Not abandon the primary altogether, but go for the secondary objectives. Or
I had to against Geoff. Yeah. I scored 5 points, 3 and 4, and then I got 15 on the last one. But it was like, man, he starved me. So it was like, no, we have to focus on secondaries. We have to accomplish those goals. Right. And that's what we did.
That's kind of that old adage of like your opponent can throw a pretty heavy punch. Mm-hmm. Make sure it doesn't land. Yeah,
yeah. And I've got also, just block as many points for the opponent as you can. It's like, okay, he hasn't gotten behind enemy lines or something like that, or engage yet. What can I do to kind of cripple that or make that harder for him? Stuff like that.
Right.
And use other stratagems like, grenades that I always forget to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I have scarabs.
You guys get grenades?
I was like, that's why I have scarabs. I don't have to remember. It's just, just yeet.
Something else I've got here for bad dice is adjust your game plan mid-match. Specifically, don't be afraid to throw away those secondaries, especially if you can't do it or it's a really risky play and the payoff isn't great. Get that command point, take the L that turn, try again next round.
Well, it's also like, I have I draw assassinate. No, and his character is nowhere I can get to. You can either spend a command point to redraw that secondary, or just discard it for that.
Yeah. If I've got 7 secondaries, like we probably redraw on it. But if I don't, or if I'm starved, it's just not going to happen. And like you said earlier, if you can't maybe play the mid board, I've got the knowing when to kind of accept the loss gracefully. Great example is in 2024, a guy named Noah won the Cherokee Open with Magnus and his 1,000 Sons. And the very next weekend, I drew him at the ATC on the team event. Didn't recognize him, didn't realize who he was. And I saw his models and I saw Magnus and looked up and was like, oh my God, it's you.
oh no.
Yeah. And then it was like, uh-oh. He's like, I'm not playing that list. I was like, no, buddy, but just based off skill, I can tell you, like, great game, and shook his hand. But we played a fun game, but ultimately it's like, I can't win this. My goal that game became kill Magnus, because he made a point to say nobody killed Magnus the entire weekend of Cherokee. I was like, oh, buddy, I'm throwing everything. I will lose to kill Magnus.
I'll say the last game. Yeah, the last game I played against Steve, I did the exact same thing with one of his Rogel Dorn commanders.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not winning this game. The goal has changed.
Yeah.
I'm killing that model. And that's my goal.
I will gum up everything else to make sure.
I may not have won the game, but I'm going to get this moral victory.
Right, exactly. I will have won in my heart.
But knowing what caliber of player he was, it quickly became like, hey, let's, if I was to do this, like, how do you blah, blah. And it was more of a brain picking session and just like hang out, shoot the breeze with like another cool 40K player.
Right.
Instead of like, I'm not going to try hard this. Like, we're not going to make this a feels bad experience for either one of us. Like, you got the W. Let me see what I can score just so the team's not completely hindered by my drawing of people here.
Right.
And yeah, make it fun. So
I think that also brings up a good point if we're talking about specifically about bad dice rolls. Sometimes it doesn't even matter about how good you are. Sometimes the dice will just roll bad, and
yes,
your whole game plan will just go up in smoke. And that's also where skill is also involved, is how can you bounce back from that? What can you do, like, on the fly to adjust how you're playing?
Yes.
I think there was something I read or watched someone say this. The dice are going to tell their story, no matter how you look at it.
Right.
The dice are going to tell their story.
Yes.
But what kind of separates your average 40K player compared to a good 40K player is mitigating that risk. Basically, dice rolls are that. They are a risk. You have an equal chance to roll a 1 that you do to roll a 6. It's just going to be a matter of, how do you mitigate to make sure you don't roll that 1 versus rolling to 6 versus rolling to 6. If you're banking on, I need to make this dice roll, 9 times out of 10, the dice are going to be like, you're not going to make that dice roll.
Yeah.
It's good to know your like probabilities and stuff in your head.
16.5, I think.
It's like 18
I need to make it
something percent.
I need to make a 10-inch charge rolling 2d6
and a reroll.
Right.
with a reroll.
It's like, well, if I need a 5 or 6, that's a 33% chance that I get that.
Well, with the reroll, it bumps it to a 60-something percent. So it's like, all right, odds are, but that's why I don't gamble. I went to Cherokee twice. I only used the $10 free credit, and I was like, oh, that was too easy to lose money. I am out.
He doesn't gamble. He just spends money on plastic.
We all have our vices. On that note, though, Stephen, which fantastic segue. This isn't on the notes, so, Art of War has a podcast. I don't know which one it is, but they make a point to talk to the guy, not the guy that won the tournament, but the guy that came in second, and talk about why you lost, what happened, break down the games, do the things, or even third or fourth. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be second.
Right.
But their number one thing is you can't blame the dice.
Right.
And their big thing is like, don't put yourself in a position to where you have to get that roll. That one roll shouldn't be the one that decides the game. Although it's really fun when it does. But if it comes down to that, like, what else could you have done throughout the game to not put yourself in that situation? Really, really great technical podcast.
Right.
Yeah. It goes, there's Math Hammer. Everyone knows Math Hammer. It's just mathing everything out. People who are smarter than I do Math Hammer. The way I play it is I just try to mitigate as much as I can, making sure that I don't. If I need to go and kill something, I overcommit. I think that's probably one of my flaws as well. Is that then I move everything and the luck of my dice is I killed it in my first 2 units. And I have 3 more units ready to kill it. Where do they go now?
One of the other things here are superstitions, which it drives me up the wall playing Dungeons and Dragons when people just shake the dice for like 3 minutes or they're blowing. And it's like, just roll the damn dice. Like, it doesn't matter. That it drives me up. My wife does it. Yes.
To be fair, we were just talking about our own superstitions about it's like these dice are being naughty.
Yes, and it's exactly the same thing. Like it means nothing at the end of the unless that one dice is just like, oh yeah, it's a little crazy.
It's like, okay, this one is actually cursed.
Yep. Throw it away. So any thoughts on like superstitious stuff like that? It doesn't happen in this room. You roll those dice for too long, you're out.
I've done it before where it's just like, oh come on, baby, just and just throw it.
Being silly, yes, but it is not like an OCD thing for me.
Yeah,
sure.
It's not like something
yelling,
I do
Snake eyes when you roll your charges. Like it's only happened like twice, but when it does, it's hilarious. You know.
I believe you've done that to me.
Yes, exactly.
But for superstitions like that, yeah, I get, some people would perform like some like, quote unquote ritual with their dice, or burn incense. I've seen people. I've heard people say,
oh my Lord,
they would burn incense.
They've got a whole ritual room for the dice.
They would make a prayer to the dice gods.
Listen, I'll say this, the only time I think that's appropriate is if they're playing Mechanicus and they've got the little incense jar.
Oh yeah, they need yes. Oh, there was a company that had those for sale. They also had the $1,000 like iron hand ring. I was like, what are you thinking? Like I don't know. But yeah, somebody makes you can actually get stuff like that. It's
when the World Eater player starts doing push-ups and blood sacrifices on their hand, then you need to be like, maybe
it's getting weird.
But I've heard of people like washing their dice or sitting their dice out in the sun or
washing dice. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I have dirty dice.
Maybe you have dirty dice.
My problem?
They need a bath.
It's been years. I've never thought to wash them. It was that simple.
If you're a Nurgle player, you're never allowed to wash your dice.
It's got to be. I mean, you wash your golf balls. Why wouldn't you wash your dice?
I mean, you handle them all the time. They're constantly being picked up. I mean, when you think about it, they're probably handled more than your models are.
Oh, man. Y'all are, Jordan's going to be like, what are you doing over there? She'll be watching Grey's Anatomy tonight. It's like, why are you washing your dice? It's like, shut up. Let me do my thing.
It's like that, was it Rugrats where it's, what are you doing making pudding at 3 a.m.? I've lost control of my life.
Looking back on shows like that, I'm there.
Yeah, I can just now see Kurt in his, with a big bowl of like warm water and some Dawn dish soap.
At 3 a.m.
Sinks, man. We got
And then they pour Dementa out into a colander and just spreading them out. And
I clean my resin stuff too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back on topic here. The mental reset. Your game is going poorly, or maybe you had a bad game. And I can speak from like going to multiple day GTs and things like that. There have been games where I'll just tell the guy like, hey, do you mind setting up the table for me? I just need to step out for a second. I'll pop in the noise canceling AirPods and just, it's either classical music or maybe like the first track of the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. It's just something just to like, I need to put myself not there for 5 minutes. And I'll tell the guy, just start clocking me as soon as you're done. Like, it's fine. Do you have anything like that you've done or tried or because it's one thing to like play in the garage, like, oh, it's a bad game.
Yeah, the good old mental reset. Because I mean, it can be frustrating. Don't get me wrong. I mean, even at my last RTT when I was going up against the Mechanicus player, he was getting super frustrated because his dice weren't rolling the way he wanted to.
Go take a breather. Like,
I mean, he wound up leaving after the game because he's like, I'm just too frustrated. But I mean, I would want, like, if it was at a big event, I wouldn't want someone to quit the event because of one or two bad games. Everyone's gonna have a bad game. It doesn't matter if you are brand new, your first or second game, or you've been in, an old guy.
Yeah,
that sounds kind of bad when I say it like that because now I realize I'm old.
We're the old guys now.
We're the old guys now.
But I know I played an Eldar player that was just not pleasant at Cherokee that first year they had it. And it was just, the guy had been drinking all day and you could tell, like, he was clearly drunk, but still just absolutely schooling me in the game. And it was just like, are you kidding me? Like, it should not be like this. And that's
going to be the most embarrassing feeling.
I'll be back I have to use the bathroom. And I just paced the hall outside for a few minutes and just, I was like, okay, fresh air, we're good, and it's fine. It's fine.
That's, in hindsight, that is hilarious.
Like he walked up, I was like, oh, easy out, baby. Everybody in, like baseball. And no,
winds up, like,
it did not go like that at all.
He's just drunk beyond belief, and he's still
It was a Harlequin Eldar combined deal back in 9th when it was just like, everybody has crazy psychic powers, and they buff this and that and all the things, and everybody's re-rolling and doing whatever the hell they want. And it was not fun.
See, there's your problem. You thought he was drunk. He's playing Harlequins. He's actually just pranking you.
He spilled a beer on the table. It was bad. All right, so on that, we also have things like volume of attacks versus quality of attacks.
Yes. You know my opinion on this one.
You got your terrain effects with a strength 20, wounds just about everything's on 2s and 3s. But knowing me, I can't make that 1 or 2, or I'm not going to make that 3+.
Right.
So is it worth to shoot the 20-shot weapon in that point? Like, what's going to do more wounds?
I think it also comes down to, especially if you got special rules on it. Like if you have an individual attack doing, if you got like sustained hits or something, that can be much more worth it.
Sure.
It also depends on what you're shooting into. I mean,
well, of course,
you both have seen my craziness, and I can pull
swings.
Swings. Yeah. So, as my example, actually, with the Imperial Guard, there is a Lehman Russ variant called the Punisher.
We're aware of what it does,
and it is a Gatling gun. Basically, it's a 20 strength 4 with dev wounds, 20 shots. Now,
jeez,
that sounds great, but is one of the worst Lehman Russ variants.
Sure. I mean, looking at 20, what's it hit on 3s?
It's on 4s or 3s with the order.
Oh, geez. So 10 hits, give or take, right off the bat.
10 hits,
and then maybe
with an order, it's probably closer to like 10
to 15 hits, and then you're at strength 4 with no AP, but with dev wounds.
2 to 3 wounds, maybe
2 to 3
on a good
wounds
day.
On a good,
4 if somebody fails a save and rolls a 2.
Yeah. But how I typically run, but then you look at the Lehman Russ Vanquisher, which is the one shot big damage cannon, and that's the one I bring all the time. That's the pretty much outside of a Lehman Russ Executioner.
It looks really cool though.
It's like the one I've never seen you miss with.
Yeah. He saves his good dice that he knows roll 6s for that one.
Oh, exactly.
Oh no,
no. He saves the 6s for his damage, so he can just pop 12 damage on you.
Well, if you look too, like with the intercessors getting the buff to where they get twice the shots now or something, like that took them from like, I guess I'll take them to hold objectives and sticky things to like, ooh, that's a threat now. Just getting the extra shots. So
right,
that's how I usually deal with things. Is I just bury anybody under the weight of dice.
Yeah,
it's just that's how I killed my guardsmen. I've killed Terminators.
Yeah.
Because they just sat there and just, hey, I'm going to first rank, second rank. I'm going to double my amount of shots, and I have lethal hits now.
It's like it doesn't matter if you're
just bury you under dice, and that's how I typically. But that's guard, right?
It's like it doesn't matter if you're wounding on 5s and I'm saving on 2s because you got no AP. Eventually, with that number of dice, you're just gonna roll 1s. Eventually, at some point, you're gonna roll 1s. And it's just going to slowly chip away.
And then with the quality of attacks, and this happened with against Austin, taking a Vanquisher cannon and shooting it into the Nightbringer, and the Nightbringer go invuln save.
Oh, yeah, those
great
darn invuln saves.
And then let me throw my las cannon. Invuln save.
Not
okay,
today.
Great. And then Hunter Killer Missile, and Hunter Killer Missiles, I swear, they never hit.
It's because you call it a missile.
Yeah. But those are very high quality, high damage attacks. Have high AP and everything, designed to do what they're supposed to do. And it's I think it's the law of averages.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're playing a dice game, right? Like that's,
right.
Yeah,
and it's especially with something like if you're calculating your odds of damaging something like Nightbringer, you're looking at he's also got a feel no pain on him. He minuses 1 to all damage. Well, what should I do? Oh, throw as many damage 1 attacks at you as physically possible.
Yep.
You can't make all those saves.
That's such a brutal rule with custodians. Like, we're damaged too. And it's like, oh no, you just dropped our efficiency by such a huge factor.
like
It
50%.
hurts, yeah. It's like, no, instead of getting 5 through, now I have to get 10. It's like, oh, it changes the whole game. So on that note, is too much randomness bad for the game? Some players argue 40K has too many dice rolls. Others love the chaos. Where do you land on that spectrum?
I think I'm personally more in the middle, where I think 40K is in a decent position as of right now, at least when it comes to randomness, because you have a lot of dice rolls that you're still having to make, but there's so many rules and ways of getting rerolls
Sure.
that you sort of end up mitigating it anyways, to the point where it's consistent enough for you to do what you want to do, but there's enough randomness where it's still going to tell a story. Sometimes you will still fail.
Right.
Yeah, and I playing Imperial Guard, we have literally casino cannons. That's as they're commonly referred to. Anything that's a D6 shots is most of the time considered a casino cannon, or even 2D6 shots. If it doesn't have a static +1 or +3.
What's that Tyranid that has the casino gun?
Is it Trinifex?
I think it's it's got the big gun built into the back. I don't know. But it's like the only one of 2 anti-vehicle weapons, and it's only strength. It's like strength 8 -3 for 3 damage. It's like, well, I guess maybe if I get lucky, but it's like D6 +3 or something.
I mean, granted, it with a lot of things changed when they took away the templates.
Sure.
Because it used to be
Give me my templates.
it used to be, large blast, small blast templates, and whoever you covered, and if the opponent didn't spread out their coherency and all that, and,
Sure.
and that's how it kind of worked out.
When that goes both ways, because it would have just been 1 hit against the tank versus D6 +3 hits.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
but also that's back when you can one shot a tank versus not one
Man,
shot.
if it scatters to the back and I hit it in the rear.
Scatters to the back and hit in his rear armor. Oh, that's a penetrating hit. Oh, that's a destroyed tank.
And if you're talking
come to
templates
the
versus
heresy.
dice, I know when we were talking about flamer templates when we were playing our
Yes.
heresy game, I think at the end of the day, it sort of ends up
About the
averaging
same,
out
sure.
anyways.
Maybe less depending, but with 40K, the coherency isn't as big of a deal because of templates, though.
Right.
Heresy, everybody's 2 inches apart. Like, doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that was the game within the game
Minimize those losses.
was everyone don't hold hands. You want to be able to, you want big spread out units, and the boards were bigger, but also they didn't feel bigger because your units were like a 5-man unit was taking up 10 inches of space.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Not anymore. Soon. Or at least that's the rumor, right? 9 inches max per unit or something?
That's the rumor I heard. I haven't seen anything about
I
it, and we
haven't.
haven't heard anything directly from
Fingers crossed. No more conga
GW?
lines. That'd be great.
Yeah, I remember
That would-
conga lines. I remember the old Emperor's Champion slingshot.
Oh, and also the grot cage.
Grot cage. The Emperor Champion slingshot at the time was you have an Emperor's Champion at the back of your unit, and you charge and you extend it fully forward. And if the unit was engaged in another unit with a character, the Emperor's Champion from the back, like 20 inches back, just zooms to the front. Because of that, it was called the
It's like a
Emperor's
challenge or something.
It was the special rule at the time, like at 6th or 7th. Oh man, it was something crazy. It was just like all the crazy things that came about it. I'm kind of glad that the coherency isn't as bad.
Sure.
Yes, D6 shots, like with anything, kind of getting back to the randomness. A D6 shot weapon, you can roll great. You can roll 1 hit, or you can roll no hits. Or you can roll 6, and it's you get one or the other. That's why it's commonly referred to as a casino cannon.
Right. Especially if you're also rolling for damage as well. Like, for example, like those melta cannons or melta guns on like eradicators. It's like, yeah, you get like 4 shots. You're doing D6 damage outside of 9 inches. you could do 4 damage, or you could do like 18 to 20.
Yep.
Hunter kill missiles.
Yeah.
If they hit D6, not D6 plus 1, just a D6.
I'm shocked Eradicators didn't become just like the super meta thing there. Like aggressors it blew my mind to be like, no, that's not,
I think, and this is a little off topic, but I think probably one of the reasons was because Firestorm was just not as flexible as Gladius was, and so just everyone picked Gladius. But in Firestorm, those Melt-A-Guns and those Flamers are insanely potent.
Yeah. All right. Last topic/question for me, comparing to other games, right? Chess has no luck. Poker is mostly luck. Where does 40K sit on the spectrum?
You can have the best luck, but if your strategy is poor, you'll still lose.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say probably the same way as, is there too much or too little randomness in the game? I probably also sit right in the middle in this case as well.
Yeah.
Where it's it's very heavily dependent on your skill and how you can react to those dice rolls and how you can mitigate those dice rolls. But at the same time, there is still dice rolls, and it's going to be kind of right in the middle. It takes some amount of skill, but you also need to be prepared for the randomness.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
As discussed,
Right. Yeah.
past like 40 minutes here. Anything on that one, Steven?
So it is kind of like that. It's the good 40K players, the way they mitigate dice rolling is they make sure that their strategies don't require good rolls. Is it great when like your guardsman gets that lucky headshot? Yes, it is fantastic. It's great to get a guardsman to kill a space marine or a Tyrannid or Necron with a flashlight. But I don't bank on it. It's mostly there for, hey, I just got this. Let me roll it, and I mean, at the end of the day, let me throw around my little bath rocks.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, hey, I like it.
And I'd say probably at the end of the day, also 40K is a game about points. It's about doing your objectives, and killing ends up becoming a secondary.
Yes. Literally and figuratively.
Unless you're playing Purge the Foe,
Unless you're
which is
playing
the
Purge.
best game mode.
It's the best game.
Okay. Anything else on dice, randomness, dice betraying you, all the fun things?
I would probably just reiterate from earlier, just you can't blame the dice for everything,
Right. Yes.
especially your losses. Sometimes you just gotta take it on the chin.
Yeah. I mean, don't put yourself in a position to where the dice are going to decide the game. Strategize yourself better.
Yeah.
Or
And sometimes
something. There's probably a better way to say that. It's fine. It's late on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And sometimes you will just end up being in a game where you're both playing really well, and it does just end up coming down to that last dice roll.
Or
Those are
as
the
it
best
goes
games,
here,
though.
you're both playing really bad. It's like bottom of 5 and it's 41 to 38. It's like, how did it happen like this? Yeah. So
Those are always the most fun games.
before we go, I got an email about the UK Games Expo or something that's going on soon. And it was a company that I got their free PDF for their game, like at least, within the last 5 years. But it was like, hey, 5-year anniversary, like blah, 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 blah. It's called The Drowned Earth, if you've ever seen it or heard of it. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic thing, but not zombies. It's dinosaurs.
Ooh.
So you're a survivor, like in a city, trying to scavenge for things, very similar to like Necromunda, except instead of like fighting the zombies or the gangs or whatever, you're literally like trying to hide from the dinosaurs. Like it looks so cool, and I wanted to get into it, but it was I think it was European. It was before 3D printers like really took off.
Yeah.
I think he has files now, but it was like, man, I'm not paying like $165 after shipping and the conversion rate and all that for a box of dinosaurs.
Oh, don't
But
I know
But it
that.
always looked so cool. The rules were very like
So it's like almost like
Necromunda-esque.
Jurassic Park meets Necromunda.
Pretty much.
That's kind of sick. I like that.
Yeah, like I said, it was just I got an email about it, and I was like, I forgot about this game last night at my buddy's house. It was like looking through it, like they've got some cool stuff now, but it's like,
Don't do it, Kurt.
and
Don't do it.
That was my next line is don't do it, Kurt, because I know me. But again, I'm not championing something like that if I can't take it to a game store and be like, hey guys, Thursday night I'm going to start running this, and yeah. So also, I've been listening to a book. I don't know if I talked about it last time. I started the first Dawn of Fire book ages ago.
Yeah, you mentioned that, yeah.
And the book opens with like the guy having a memory or dreaming in his like pod about the battle of like on Terra for the heresy. And I was like, this is so dumb. Like this is supposed to be introducing Primaris. Like why are we like, And I'd never touched it again. And I was bored at the soccer field a couple of weeks ago and I started it. Like, let's see where this goes. Like, and I got so into it. But what it was is it was the Primaris guy in his tank sleeping for like 10,000 years, and they're in like simulators while they're sleeping. And so the voice in the back, they're running through like, this is your orc scenario, and the goal is to kill as many orcs as possible. And you know, he dies, and he's like, all right, you only killed 37 orcs, that's not good enough. Do it again. And so that's what they've been doing in their like sleep, dream, frozen state for the last like 9,000 years or something.
Okay.
And the whole book is Gilliman starting the crusade at the start of, I guess, 8th edition?
Yeah, the Indominus Crusade.
So it starts, you know, he's got his like champion guy that's following around and protecting him while he's on Terra, and they get on a ship and they go to Call's ship, which was cool. And of course, they make a point to be like, and we're walking past, this is a repulsor, and this is a whatever, and here's the aggressors.
Here's all the brand new models you can spend money on.
Call showing off, like, oh, these are my new, you know, I've been working on these for 10,000 years, or whatever it is. And, like, he's showing it to all the Imperium for the first time. And, you know, it eventually gets to where, like, that captain guy basically gets a Primaris. He has to be there when they wake him up so he can imprint on him, and is like, you are now the... you know, the new leader of these 5,000 Primaris guys. It's really cool. Yeah. And things are starting to go down. And it's like, oh, okay, I almost care about the Primaris. But what's really interesting is they've made a point to be like, well, these are aggressors, and this is our jump pack intercessors, and they're rattling off like all the things, right? They get on a not Thunderhawk. It describes all the things in great detail. Oh, and the plasma, you know, the hell blasters with their whatevers and this, and they're talking about the ship they get on, and it's this massive ship, kind of like a Thunderhawk, except it's designed for Primaris. You know, it's got like these. It's almost like the Storm Raven, and then it's got like two gigantic like transport bays on the side. And they go in great detail talking about it. And it had a name, and I was driving, so I couldn't write it down. But it was like, were we supposed to get that? And it just never happened. Like, Forge World got spun down, and we never got this gigantic, like, Primaris flyer transport thing.
Interesting.
Because everything else, like, oh, here's that. And they're talking about this, and that's a incursor or whatever. And it's like they're describing, like, a whole chapter about, like, how cool it is. They're getting on it, and they're like, they're doing the boarding action in space, and it's... Give me the ship. Yeah. Like, come on, man. So it's almost like they just decided to pull back and just, you know, it's like, well, the book's sent. Like, we can't, you know, pull.
Right.
We can't rename it a Thunderhawk at this point. But they talked about how it was different, and it was cool. So, yeah. I thought that was neat.
I know they did the same thing when I was listening to the Dark Imperium trilogy. Like, that first book goes so hard into these are inceptors, and look how cool they are, and they're killing all this stuff, and they're so much better than all the old stuff. You should definitely buy these.
There was a scene too where, like, one of the not normal, but like old school Space Marines has to deal with the custodian guard, and at the last second, the guard is like, I know what you think of us. It's not that way. Like, we're sorry we hid in the Emperor's tomb for like 10,000 years, and they literally have just come out.
Right.
And so everybody's super resentful, and like, you could have been fighting with us. And so they have like this really nice heart to heart. It's only like a minute in the book, but it was just like, oh man, like, you know, they acknowledge like
Space Marines and Custodians can be emotional. That's insane.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's a very deliberate, like, almost trying to make you like the Primaris. There's like 9 books, so I've got a ways to go. I might change that view, but
Yeah.
It was just neat. I don't know. I thought it was worth talking about this crazy flyer that like, what could have been? Because they had a cool Dark Mech book or something that was going to come out with the Imperial Armor books, but they had to scrap it because 8th edition was dropping and all the rules were no longer valid. They wouldn't be able to use any of the rules. So they ended up just scrapping the book. Like we were that close to having Dark Mech rules. Oh. And it, ultimately, the guy went as far as to like only write it during his lunch break, and it was a side project. And when he finally presented it, they were like, "Oh, have we got a secret for you, buddy?" And it's like, in 6 months, all this is gone. And,
oh no!
Yeah, so
that poor guy.
All right, so I guess with that, any just non Warhammer stuff, things going on, anything you want to chat about?
I mean, you spoke of iRacing earlier. I won my first iRacing race.
I've only gotten third, man. Good job. That's awesome.
I mean, granted, it wasn't top split or anything like that. I wanted my split in the MX-5.
I think this last month, school ending and just the field trips and all the things are happening. It's like,
you're just busy.
Yeah, and it's like I can't start the new race on the new series on the new track because I can't just like jump in it tonight and start racing. I have to learn the track before it's a bummer.
I'm sure things will change once the kids.
Summer's gonna hit. It's great.
Summer's gonna hit. You're gonna be running around everywhere.
Booked. It's just gonna be me and the dog like most of June.
Oh,
and it's pretty great. But like tonight, after y'all leave, I'm probably gonna jump in and start practicing the track. And hopefully in the morning, while everybody's at church, I can do a little racing. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I just need to get one to get my credit, but I can't miss any more weeks, or I don't get mine at the end of the series or the end of the series, whatever it's
season.
Called. Yeah. But you get a $10 credit if you race in 8 of the 12 weekly events in a series or whatever they call it. So
season,
yes. So there's 4 seasons in a year, and it's a whole thing. So
I get it, especially with
$10 credit, man. That's a free track.
Yeah, I get it though with not having time. Like I just picked up that new game Pragmata.
Oh yes, I've heard about
Dad Space. I picked it up and I just have not had time to play it because it's a single player game. I just have not had time to play it because usually my buddies are like, "Oh, let's play on the weekends. Let's do these multiplayer games." I never have time to play it.
Have you guys ever seen or heard of the Lonely Necron on YouTube?
No.
Super small YouTube channel. It's just a dude doing battle reports like in his basement. I understand having a small YouTube channel, how much like a view and seeing like somebody actually watched the whole thing means. So I made a point to like watch some of it because they're neat,
Yeah.
I just he had an email listed for like business inquiries. I was like, you know what? I'm shot in the dark. Let's see what happens. So I shot the guy an email. I was like, hey man, I'm not trying to scam you, and just because you get a lot of that if you just put your email out there.
Right.
I was like, I just wanted to reach out as a fellow creator and like, hey, do you want some dice and stickers? Like, I run a small podcast, like cross promote, whatever. And he was down. So I actually sent him a package Thursday.
Nice.
With a bunch of dice and stickers and things. Felt so dirty to spend that much just in just a tiny little box. Plays Necrons, and I think he's got like Tzeentch demons or something. He sets up and he plays. It's
Necrons, my boy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But if you get a minute, check him out. Give him a like, share, subscribe, all the things. Also do that for us if you're out there listening.
Shout out.
I'll mention it at the start of the podcast too, but just thought I would say like, hey, like this is a thing. And in his last YouTube video, he tagged us like, hey, go watch Webway Radio. So it's kind of neat,
Yeah.
It's cross promoting now. That's cool.
Heck like yeah.
So.
Well, you gotta help each other grow.
Hey,
heck yeah.
I've considered swaps with other podcasts and things, but soon we're almost ready.
Soon
we're almost a real podcast.
30
we still got to make
in.
those battle reports.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so episode 30 of the rebrand.
Yeah.
I think we got the podcasting.
We're getting there. We're almost semi-professional.
When we make it to 100, then we can celebrate.
Yes. We popping champagne.
Heck yeah.
Is 6-7 going to be our big episode? Is that what we're going to go hard on the paint on?
Don't you dare. Don't you dare put that evil on this podcast.
Sorry for all the parents in the car who just had to deal with that. Well, speaking of being a real podcast, let's wrap this one up.
Sounds good.
This has been episode 30 of Webway Radio. I'm Kurt.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Steven.
And we will talk to you next time.
See ya.
See ya.